own gift in the same sense. So you're kind of like iron sharpens iron in a sense when it comes to it. But it is a blessing to be a blessing to someone else, to help them expand their vocal range and cultivate their craft. So my hat is off to you. I have had people walk up to me and ask me if I vocal coach and things like that. No, I don't vocal coach, but will I ever, whenever that time comes where I'm like completely done with with creating music and being the artist in the forefront, I would definitely take a back seat, and I want to give back, and I want to definitely possibly be a professor of music. So it's amazing. That is a great thing. It's very positive. So when it comes to writing your music, are you the full writer or the co-writer of your material?
Let me start by always say I was a writer. I used to say that I can't write. However, I had.
You're going in and out.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry. I had some people along the way to help develop me. That better?
Your voice was going in and out. Go ahead.
Okay. Miller Kennedy. He
Mm-hmm.
developed my writing skills. Just give me a phrase, and from that phrase, I could go ahead and develop it. Tanji, back a part of track productions, kind of influenced my writing, and so now it's become a natural thing.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to songwriting, who are you? Who are some of your influences when it comes to being a songwriter?
Well, Miller Kennedy for one, because he actually really wrote the Christmas.
Uh huh.
We recorded the development of that song, and we would go back and listen to it later. And when I
Mm-hmm.
how he structures, how he would pull little phrases in there, things I would never think of. And I'm thinking, man, he is incredible. And I start to kind of exemplify some of those traits and kind of put them to use. He one Natanji, who is married to Ron Jefferson of Stack Production. He helped me also by taking me in the studio, showing me how to build on the spot. So
Mm-hmm.
so those two things are important. Those times you have that writer's block, and
That's right.
you gotta sit there and just prevent until you get something. Sometimes you have to leave it and come back later, and there it is. And then
Mm-hmm.
and then that time when you push for time, and you gotta come up with something on the spot. And those things, I think Mill taught me how to get in and really grind and pull it up when it's not there. And so
Mm-hmm.
taught me how to develop it.
Yeah, I am noticing that the sound is going in and out on your end. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay.
Let me see if I can log in another while we chat.
Okay.
I'm still here though.
Okay. Well, I know, when it comes to being an artist, is sometimes especially when you're a songwriter, it's really hard to write if your mind is not in that area or space to write. So it's easy to get writer's block. To get out of that writer's block is the key. Because I know for a long time, this is way before I met my husband, I used to write all the time. And then it got to a point where I stopped writing completely because I had nothing to write about. But when me and my husband met and we started collaborating and writing most of our material, it became so easy. And I think it's because life, when you experience life, and those experience makes it very easy for you to write. And especially, with me, I write from the heart. So everything that you get from me is about relationships, it's about marriage, it's about unity. So when it comes to writing, um, stepping outside the box, a lot of times you might need a co-writer that actually has a different mind frame and can give you some freshness. so everything doesn't sound the same, as a writer. Do you have any key points, that something that you do when it becomes redundant of doing the same style, or do you feel like it's the same style but you want to step out? Do you do something?
Well, I have never been a person, Jinda, that really stayed within the box. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's there. If you're gonna do gospel, you're gonna do gospel. If you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
Garvey, you're gonna be pop. I never was one. They tried to keep me in the box. I couldn't stay there. So
Yeah.
I figured that it was how God wanted me, free. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I write, a lot of times it never stays. It's not. It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of a natural thing because like all, so I can. I,
It's going in and out. Yeah. It's still going in and out. I think it's mainly because you might have people chiming in, maybe asking you questions, and it's going in and out. And what we're talking about is very, very deep when it comes to it, because we have listeners that log on and they watch Soul to Soul Sit Down because they want to know in the minds of an artist like themselves. So it's great what you're saying when it comes to people wanting to put you in a box. I look at myself as being a soul singer. I mean, but not just a soul singer. I've been with a cover band for years. So my span goes from anywhere from country, soul, pop, blues, you name it. So when it comes to that, unless you're a soul coming into this industry, and I call it the industry, because there's so many different facets to the industry that makes one. But when you coming into it, it's so easy to get into that space where you feel like you have to do that only genre of music.
I think it takes a lot of courage to stand alone.
Hmm.
A lot of courage to stand alone, and it could be discouraging when you're standing alone and
Hmm.
like no one's actually supporting you.
Hmm.
But it just takes a lot of courage to know that you have what you have, and
Hmm.
to however many people.
Yeah, that's the truth. So when you are you born and raised in Freeport?
Yes,
And so did you come from a musical family? You have the musical background?
my mother was a singer. My mother,
Uh-huh.
my mother she was fabulous. At one point, they were considering sending her to audition for Motown because she was really that good. And yeah, so I it just kind of sprinkled her.
We're getting people chiming on, and my husband's chiming on. He says he can't understand. We
Okay,
can't understand.
okay.
So I don't know what the feedback on your end. We just can't understand. And it's going in and out on myself as well. Do you have me on your phone or on a computer?
The phone that I'm logging into.
Yeah, and I think the computer might be key because we're having a little feedback, and and everything you're saying is so good. I want everybody to hear what you're saying.
All right, I should be getting on in a moment.
Okay.
Hopefully.
All right. We're gonna wait for you to get on, chime on, so we can get some, and we're gonna go back to what we discussed before, so that we can so people can hear it is in its entirety. Because I don't want to leave anything out. Because what we're giving is some great, valuable nuggets that all these artists, like ourselves, that may not know, they need to know along the way.
So I think we might. Let me log out.
There we go. I see you. You stuck on me. Are you back? William, Can we play a song while she gets it together? We're having some
Okay,
tech.
let's do that. Let's do that. Yep, I
Play a
do
song.
understand. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
And if you have to go over a little bit, that'd be fine also. I
Okay.
understand.
Thank you so much. All
Okay.
righty.
Well, I played the song by you earlier, and I hope the audience, a lot of the audience didn't. Oh, there she is. Let's
Okay.
see.
She's back.
Let's see if
Is
we
she
have her there.
back? Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. We hear you really good. We
So it
should get
must have
this
been
from
a
the
delay because I was on.
bed. It was going like in and out, but we hear you clear as a bell right now. So,
Okay, all right.
um,
I had to go
so
to the computer.
we're going to go back to the beginning, okay?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I want everybody to hear everything from its entirety. Please, would you introduce yourself to everybody listening?
Hi, my name is Tondra, aka Sweet Tea, and I am from Shreveport, Louisiana. Been here all my life, been in music all of my life. And just in the last maybe 10 to 8 years, man, well, 8 to 10 years, I've been trying to do my own thing, recording and just kind of getting out there. And so I am just happy to be here on your show.
I am grateful to have you. And as I mentioned before, I mean, it to me, I say this to everybody at the end of my show, and I says, it is okay to be a fan of another artist. I promise it's not going to steal or dull your shine.
I
And
know.
I know I told you when you came to Shreveport, when you came to see me, that meant so much to me because another artist to come, and especially, if you have, this is one thing I don't understand when it comes to being an artist, and I'm a fan of other artists like yourself, I'm a fan. So when it comes to if you're in the same city as another artist that you know is performing and you're not performing, what does it hurt just to come and show love?
It doesn't hurt, but
Yeah.
I mean, and I was happy to come to hear you. I was overjoyed. I said I had to go because I think you have an incredible range yourself.
Oh,
And
thank
I
you.
used to sing that high back in the day.
Oh, I want to hear that.
But now,
You know you can sing
not
it
so
better.
much, but I can still play around with it. And I was sitting there eating my food. I was eating my food, listening to you, and I was trying to eat, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to video and eat at the same time because she is off the chain. So it was a pleasure to come to see you. But I agree with you. I think that it doesn't take away anything from you when you support
It does.
somebody else.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, because you know what? That planted a seed in my mind. I may not have met you formally. That was our formal introduction of each other at face to face. Other than seeing each other on Facebook, it's you put a face with the person, and now I know your character. So that makes it even better, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
what we were discussing prior, we were discussing how how to break away from being placed in a box as an artist.
Right.
It's so easy for someone to put you in a box and conform you to what they want, but you're not doing what you want and your
What you
passion.
want. Right.
you
Yeah.
know
Right.
can you explain to the listeners out there how significant that is to be you and to do you when it comes to your
Yes.
artistry?
Well, I just never was one who could be placed in a box. I mean, I've just never been, I mean, I couldn't even try it because I
Uh-huh.
just enjoyed so many genres of music and I love singing them all. And so,
Mhm.
and I love people. And, and sometimes, I hate hearing people say they don't like people because I'm a person and I love people. And
Yes.
so, when you try to restrict a person to one genre of music or within that box, and then you're limiting their outreach to the people that they can reach.
Right.
And so I
Mhm.
just never was able to stay in the box. And so that's why even if I'm writing, it might be a country song over here. It might be something over here just a little less dramatic. It might be a love song over here. It might be a very fast song. I don't have a problem with that. I just love it all. And so
Yeah.
it's just important to just be you. And I would say take courage and decide to be yourself, and just don't jump out there just because everybody else is going that way.
That's right. That's right. And the key that you have to stay true to you, and especially when you're a singer, staying true to you and even singing lyrics that you believe in, and not something that is just a gimmicky a lyric to where you can't
Right.
add flow to it. You can see that as
Right.
an artist. You know, have
Right.
you been to a show and you see somebody singing something they cannot, and it hadn't even experienced. But when they
Right.
sing, you don't even believe it. It's like, okay, they singing a song like a puppet. So
Right.
I have some people logging on and they're chiming in. And
Okay.
Tesla Lene, my sweet, sweet singing sister, is logged on. Tesla Lene is on. She's an amazing artist as well. Have you met
No,
Tesla
I
Lene?
hadn't. Hi, Tesla
Oh
May. How
yeah.
are you?
Yes, and I do believe she's in Louisiana as well. Stan Mosley, yes, the legendary Stan Mosley is on. The Blues Brother International, national recording artist.
Okay,
He
nice
is
to meet
on.
you.
So, I do want to touch bases because I know when the show started, we were listening to your Christmas song. Could you tell
Okay.
the listeners what brought that song on?
Well, I was listening. Really, we wrote that song right, really round about this time, right before Christmas, because I was listening to a whole lot of other Christmas music, and I got discouraged. We had, Santa Claus as a whole, and all of those titles, and and it just didn't do anything for me. And so,
Uh huh.
and what I wanted to do was present a Christmas song about love,
Uh
a Christmas love song that would paint the picture of what Christmas is all about, and
huh.
that's love. So I called my friend up. I called my producer up. I said, "Listen, I want to write a song. I don't know what it's about, but I'm gonna search." Our vote, and I'll come up with one of these tracks, and let's
Mhm,
write a
mhm,
song about
mhm.
love pertaining to Christmas. And we
Yeah.
came in and we began to write, and we were just kind of up all night. And I recorded it myself, and I released my mix just to get a I released my mix just to get a feel of how the
Yes.
audience would react to it. Th-
Mhm,
Was this something that I was told to do by God? And for sure, because if
mhm.
it was for sure, then it was going to touch some people. And my mix did just that. And they
Oh,
began to chime in about how much it meant to them and how it put them in the atmosphere, in the mood to be in
mm,
love with their partners during Christmas
oh,
time.
yeah. That
And
I
it did
definitely can
just that.
feel
We
that
went back.
because
We went back in and re-recorded it. But that first mix, it really definitely showed that it was a needed a thing. People really needed it.
I can definitely hear you singing from the emotions. What do the lonely do at Christmas time? That just sounds like
Right.
right there. I mean, very
Right.
delicate, very smooth. Yeah, I can definitely hear that. So that's like I'm just gonna put that little out there, a little bit out there.
Yeah.
So when it comes to having your own music, and of course, you do plenty of shows. Do you incorporate cover songs, and what's your view on it? Because you have some singers out there that just feel like they need to sing their music, they don't want to sing any cover songs. And then you have singers like myself, I incorporate cover songs, mix them with my originals, and keep it moving. How do you feel
I
about
am
that?
I am so glad you asked that, Gender, because I've had so many people try to criticize singing covers.
Mhm,
And let me tell you something, what from my point of view, as a choir directress, a singer myself, it is more difficult to do a cover song than it
mhm,
is to do your song. when you do a cover song, you have to reach the standard of that artist, especially
Come
if
on
it
now.
was a hit. You have to reach the standard of that artist. You cannot shuck and jive on it. And if you get a compliment on that cover song, you have done them justice.
That's right.
When you sing your own songs, and now some of my songs are hard for me to sing too, but when you sing your own song, that's you. And so you don't
Mhm,
really have a standard to reach.
mhm.
But if you're talking about covering people like Whitney Houston and people like Aretha Franklin, I mean,
Uh-huh.
if you sing their covers and you've done them justice, I say it is very courageous, and also I think it takes, I think it really just takes way more courage than singing your own songs. So I do them both because I want people to know. I want
That's
everyone
true.
to know that I can do them both. And if you ask me to come in any place, I can do that.
Hmm. That is so true. I sing covers because I pay homage. It's my way of paying homage to the innovators, to the people that
Right.
created the song. And my thing is, if I'm gonna sing a song and I know that I can't sing that song, I'm not gonna touch it. I stay in my
Right.
lane on what I can do. I know
You
what
like
I
I
can
am.
do.
Right.
It's people say you were singing, you can sing anything. Yeah, I can think I can sing anything, but I know what I can sing. And I
Right.
know, if you change the key or something like that, or do something like that, we can make something happen. But for me to be comfortable in a song, you best
Right.
believe I know that I can sing it. You have to know, as an artist, they don't people sometimes coming into this don't understand the significance of knowing your role and what you can do. You might, for instance, I can do a song list, in which I do song lists before a show, right? And I do my little research
Right.
and see what type of audience I'm performing for. And then I bring
Right.
two different song lists to cater to the audience. So what you have in
Right.
your mind, what song list you have just based off of your feelings, but you have an A and B selection. So therefore you can change it up just depending on the feel of the audience. Do you believe that's something that should be done when you're performing
Yeah.
as an artist to be equipped?
Right.
You know,
Yes. Yes, I do. I actually don't have two lists, but I do have alternates. And so
mhm.
those alternates I can switch out at any time when one might not work right here. So I do have alternates.
Now when
So
you when
I'll throw them alternates in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead, no, go ahead. You throw
Go
me in.
ahead. No, I was going to say I throw those alternates in when they fit, and then there are standard songs that can go behind anything and be
Mhm.
okay. So I keep those in their repertoire.
Yep. Do you prefer to sing with a live band than tracks?
Oh, now that's a question that would be very hard to answer.
Uh-huh.
I've done them both. I make sure I do justice whichever way I come. And so I don't if I'm doing a track show, um I want it to be just as effective as if I was with a live band.
Hmm.
A live band will boost you in a way that the tracks don't, especially if you have a very good rhythm section. They'll boost
Hmm.
you in a way that a track show won't. However,
Hmm.
when you come with your track show, your vocals really have to it would really have to be on point. It would really have to be on point so the momentum is not lost.
Uh-huh. So yeah,
But I like them
they
both.
have, yeah, I do too. But I would have to say, if I had a choice within myself as an artist, I prefer to sing with the live band because I like that I liked the ability to be able to break that band down. If I want to go back into the chorus again,
Yeah.
if I want to milk that song out and transition into another song, it makes it really smooth. But they have so much technology these days where they'll put the backing tracks with it and
Right.
make you sound like you have Earth, Wind, and Fire on the stage with you. So yeah, you have those abilities when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Track show as an artist, track show, and you traveling. I think track show is very beneficial because as far as
Yeah.
budget wise, it's good for your
Right.
money.
Budget wise, and all
Yeah,
and also the music is right. Also, the
right.
music is right.
Unless you can't. I've had
There
this.
been a
That's true. That's true. I've had this horror experience before. Came in for a sound check. Boy, the sound was on point. The DJ was playing my tracks. I had it on the thumb drive. We was ready to roll. Just doing a quick sound through all the songs. When I say it was perfect, it was great. Flashback to the showtime. I don't know what happened from the
yeah.
time frame of us doing the sound check to the showtime. The sound was totally different. And then to make matters worse, the DJ was speeding up my tracks. I was like, "How are you?" That right there is
I've had that happen too.
right. And
Yeah.
one thing that I could say, you have to keep a straight face, and you have you, one monkey don't stop no show. You got to keep on going. Have
Right.
you ever
Right.
have you ever experienced not being at your best, meaning your voice was gone, but you still showed up to do the show?
Oh yes, that happens all the time. I've only had one time in all of my life where my voice was completely gone, and I said it was gone, and they wanted me to sing anyway, and I'm like, I don't think you really want me to sing tonight, and
Mhm,
so and they forced me to, and because really most of the time you are able to push beyond that and still
mhm,
do pretty well. But
mhm,
every now and then it could be where you can't do it at all. But I've only had that maybe 2%, maybe
mhm,
1% where I couldn't do it at all. Most of the time you're able to push beyond it and still do what you need to. And
mhm.
that's the professional part of what we do.
That's right.
It's being
Now the
professional
next
enough to push past it. And then if you have a live band, when that
mhm,
happens, you can always drop keys. That'll help you.
true. Mhm. So the next question I have to ask is investing. You know, a
Hmm.
lot of artists don't invest in themselves when it comes to them, whether it be their equipment, whether it be their clothes, their dress. Um, how significant is that as being an artist? You should, I used to pack before I had all the equipment that I have, which I'm blessed and I'm grateful for. The first thing I ever received or
Hmm.
got was a microphone. I would bring my microphone zipped up to the gig with me, even though I knew the sound man had it. But I always got to cover my tail.
Right.
You do the same thing?
Well, honestly, I had to learn that because I came from gospel. My foundation is in gospel, and every
Mhm,
church you went through to had their own sound equipment. And sometimes it
mhm,
wasn't so good, but they always had mics. And so I wasn't used to having to take my mic with me. So when I actually started singing R&B, that was the first lesson I got from a friend of mine who has passed on now, an older guy from Linus from
mhm,
Vegas, who told me, he said, "Honey, baby, you always have to have your mic. A singer has to take their mic wherever they go." So the first two times I went to sing with him, I forgot my mic, and he was looking at me like, where's your equipment? He said that your
mhm.
mic is like your hand, your arm, your eyes. He made it very clear. You gotta have that. And so
So
through him really, because he was, he really chastised me about that. So now it's second nature. Yes, I do always carry it, and I do also have, purchase my own sound equipment. And as far as
Mhm.
dressing up for a show,
You
I
know.
think honestly, truthfully, I think
Mhm.
we should get paid for having to dress up
Well,
because that's a lot of the show. It really is a
that is
lot
a
of the
lot of the
show.
show. I have
It's
two
getting
closets.
prepared
I have
for it.
closets. I
Yeah.
have closets for my show clothes, closets for my regular clothes, and they don't. People, promoters listening, managers, promoters listening. If you want an artist to come
Yeah.
and look the way you see them, the monies that they ask for is factored. The wardrobe fee is factored into their cost. So just know
It
that's what you're
should be.
paying for. It should
Right.
be, and that's what you're paying.
Right.
That's have you ever? And now I'm gonna tell you a story about me, but have you ever? And we're gonna extend this for another 15 minutes if you don't mind, okay? Because this is getting good.
Okay.
Have you ever?
Gooder and gooder.
So, have you ever been to a show? Well, I'm not saying I'm a fan of a lot of different people. I know when I first started this thing years and years ago, started singing. I've been singing for probably about 25 years, literally, or 30,
Okay.
professionally. When I say not to this magnitude, but yeah, I was singing background for Ollie Woodson of the Temptations and just doing different things. But when it comes to
Okay.
in Houston area where I used to live, I've had the opportunity to see a female, like a lady that could sing like Patti LaBelle and all these different people before I actually knew if the name Songbird even came or arrived or came about. I saw this woman perform and I was in awe. I was like, oh my gosh, she is absolutely amazing. And she kind of mentored me for a minute because I would see her every week. She would be at the same spot, but she would put on these shows and the whole house would be full. She had a nice glitter gown on. She's singing Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, Whitney
Right.
Houston. One earring fell off. She had an earring in the bosom. She put a new one on. I said, "Oh, that's some diva stuff right there." Have you ever been? Have you ever been at a show and you looked at that person? You were like, "Oh my gosh, wow, she puts on an amazing show," or he puts on an amazing show. Have you ever witnessed that?
Oh, well, yes. I actually go back to I started off being a dancer in high school, although I was in the choir, and
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up when I went to college thinking a friend of mine and I went to college thinking we were going to go and run our college choir until we
Mm-hmm.
walked in the door and there was a lady up. Her name was Karen Green. She sung so, and she was so magnificent. I felt like I could just go under under the building. I went outside. I called my mother. I said, "Listen, I am not cut out for this. I don't know who told me I could sing. I want to come home because she was so fabulous." And
Mm-hmm.
and my mother laughed and she said, "Just stay there. You're gonna be okay." And she ended up being a mentor to me. And she kind of almost passed, the torch to me. But I always remember that because I was very caught up in my arrogance of thinking I was gonna go in, being the stuff. And it taught me a lesson to always be
Mm-hmm.
humble and
Mm-hmm.
and to just consider this a privilege that God has given us this opportunity to sing. And so now when I go in and see other people who are that fabulous, I just still feel the same way to know that this is just a privilege that we all get a chance to do.
That's right. And like I
Yeah.
say, I tell everybody, as long as we as artists keep creating this beautiful music that we do, we are only one song away from a hit, and a hit can
Right.
happen at any.
at
And
any
great
time.
music never has an expiration date. Never has one.
Right.
So
You know,
go ahead.
a lady told me, once. I'll say real quickly. She told me that if you only reach 10% of the population, that's enough people.
Mhm,
You don't have to try to be grand. Just for 10% is enough
mhm,
people.
mhm. You know,
And I want my 10%.
that's right. I know that's right. I'm with you with that, and I know it. The key is also, and I know the late great Ollie Woodson told me at a performance. He said, "You're always good as your last performance, so always bring your A game every time you hit the stage, whether you feel good or feel bad." Singing has a way of healing the soul, mind, body, every parts
Mm.
of your body. So I just I'm so grateful for the gift of song, and being able to share my love and also share the love of music with the masses, and getting people aboard like you and so many artists that I have conversations with come aboard and enlighten up and coming artists, because we need encouragement, because sometimes we're ready to throw in the
Right.
towel. Sometimes we're ready to just give
Right.
up because, right, there are new singers every 5 seconds. It seems like somebody's new, you know.
Every five
So
seconds. Right. Right.
we brought up, growing up. You come from the church background. So who are some of the people? If you could go back and you can listen to an artists that come to mind, who are some of your favorites?
Going back, and now Whitney Houston definitely. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, we did a tour up to New York City, and back when Whitney Houston was just getting started, and got a chance to see her on the streets of New York City singing, just standing
Wow.
out. Yeah, right. And that was before she actually became big. So I always say I got a chance to see her before, but
Yes.
and she is just incredible. And even now when I listen, and you know, I I'm listening to her thinking, how is she doing that? And
Amazing.
right. It's so and so you when you listen to artists like that, her and then Aretha Franklin, you know that it was God's given, and you know that they did what they were meant to do in the earth realm. And so I just want to be guilty of doing what I was meant to do also.
Okay. So, in closing, if anyone wants to book Sweet Tea to their city, how can they book you?
You can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger if you would like. That's the best way to reach out. And I've been told to stop using my personal number, but if you reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, send me a message, and I'll reach back out to you. We do have a acting manager. Let me see if I can. His name is Mike. Let me get his information right quick. You can also
Okay.
call Mike, and he will go ahead and take whatever information you down and get back with you. And we actually do have a full band that can come
Mhm.
at any time.
Well,
Let me see.
I will want to tell you. I want to tell you. I know we're waiting for that information. Once you get it up, go ahead and give
Okay.
it to us really quick. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. And it's so Mike's number is 318-294-2191. And you can text him and just tell him you're interested in booking Tundra, aka Sweet Tea, along with the band, and he will get that information to us.
Thank you so much, Tandra. I just really appreciate you for taking the time out. And if you do need to reach her, you didn't get that information, this video will be up on the Studio W Buzz website 24/7. It's never going anywhere. You can recap. That way you can get the information. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. And if you need to get in touch with her to book her or any show, I will pass the message on. That's how we work around here. And also, I do want to say to everybody, all the listeners out there, please, you have up until the 22nd of November to vote for this year, 2025, ZBT Awards, in which I am nominated as Podcast of the Year, Soul to Soul Sit Down, and also in 3 categories: Podcast of the Year, Underrated Female Vocalist of the Year, and also me and my husband, Howard and Jinda, Team Songbird, are
I saw
songwriters.
that.
So make sure you can vote twice a day. The link is on my page, on the ZBT page. And also this year I'm being honored I'm an honoree at the AMG Awards. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in this week's Soul to Soul Sit Down. Make sure you tune back in tonight with William. And you don't want to miss it, because it's going to be absolutely amazing. He always puts on a great show. And Tandra, once again, thank you so much, love. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Miss Jinda. Love
All
you.
right.
Outstanding, ladies. Outstanding. All right. Great, great, great. Looking forward to your next Soul to Soul, January 1st. We'll be here.